Small Business Saturday on these Radio Plus radio stations is brought to you by Bristol Morgan Bank with offices in Oakfield, Van Dyne, Oshkosh, and Fond du Lac. Small Business Saturday time on these Radio Plus radio stations. And joining us today, Colette Klaprick from Klaprick Realty. And Colette, first of all, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate that.
Oh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure to be on the air.
And let's talk a little bit, first of all, about the housing market, the real estate market in Fond du Lac County. Where are we at? What's it like?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think for anyone that does work in the real estate industry, family, friends, folks that you meet, that's a common question to be asked. And what I would respond to say right now is, we are in the spring real estate market. The weather has really been beautiful since really the beginning of March. And this time of year is typically the busiest time of year in the housing market. So overall, if I'm kind of taking a look here across the county, I would say that it is very active.
Right. I would think very strong right now. A lot of people in transition, a lot of people, you see signs up all over the place. And we certainly went through kind of a dip there for a while post-pandemic, but I think things are pretty strong right now. Let's talk about mortgage rates. A chance they might drop this year? What do you think?
Oh, that's another very commonly asked question. The analyst, yes. I would say that from everything that I have heard, seen, and read, the industry professionals are predicting that rates are going to slowly decline once we get toward the back end of this year. Initially, one of those sources, such as Fannie Mae, they predicted that rates were going to drop sooner in the year, but they've adjusted their forecast more towards the end of the year. So looking at all these different sources, we are predicting to see rates come down to about 6, maybe 6.5%, which is coming down because, recently they have gone up and gone to 7, maybe even a little over 7%. I think it's important for anyone who's considering purchasing a house is to speak with a home mortgage lender because everyone comes to the table with different factors as to what's going to determine the interest rate that they're going to be offered for their loan that they choose to go forward with.
Everybody's situation is a little bit different. What's the best way to compete as a buyer in today's market?
Oh, couple of different things here. So as we know, in our area and just across Northeast Wisconsin in general, it is a seller's housing market, and it's been that way for I would say at least the past 5 years. And that's where we just have higher demand than we have inventory. So we have more buyers looking to purchase than we have houses to sell them. So that really does tend to drive up the prices for homes. It also means that they are selling quicker than maybe we traditionally saw them doing, before the pandemic. But as a buyer, I know hearing those things can be a little frightening and may make you a little hesitant to enter into the real estate market. But I will tell folks that I work with that now is a very good time to buy. So you really want to have the proper guide that's going to guide you through the process. And it's really not as a frightening, scary, unpleasant experience as maybe it's depicted in the national media.
Right.
My first thing that I would recommend for any buyer to do is to find a good realtor. And how do you go about finding a good realtor? Well, one, speak to someone that you know, family or friend, who's recently bought a house in the market. A good realtor is probably going to be the most valuable resource a buyer can have to help them navigate the competitive marketplace.
Right.
And make sure you choose one that truly has a really good understanding of the local marketplace. What are the current trends? What are the pricing strategies? Does your agent take the time to listen to what you as a buyer, what your needs and preferences are? Do they understand your budget? Do they understand exactly what you're looking for? Sometimes buyers don't exactly know what they're looking for. So do you have a realtor who can guide you to help you actually identify what your next new home should be?
Right. I like the way you drew that together because people forget, when you think of realtor, it is indeed a good resource. This is somebody that deals with this stuff every day. And as you say, things can be a little bit daunting. Maybe you think you know a little bit, but you don't know everything you want to know. Make that contact and work with somebody you're comfortable with. It's definitely a partnership, whether you're buying or selling. So,
I agree with you. Absolutely. It's a journey from start to finish. But again, it's one of your most valuable resources you can have to help you navigate the landscape and, find you the right house. And then when it gets time to drafting the offer on that house that you want to make your next new home, that they have all of the knowledge and experience to craft a very competitive offer on your behalf and basically have you be as strong of a contender as you can be.
Colette, well, how do people contact you guys at Klaprick Real Estate? You guys have been in the market for a long time. You are that good local resource and those sharp local realtors we're looking for. How can we get folks in touch with you?
Yes, well, I'm glad that you asked. So you can contact Klaprick Real Estate. We're located on Fond du Lac Avenue, right across from the Blue Line Family Ice Center. Our number is 920-923-6000. Again, we have a lot of fantastic agents that are at Klaprick Real Estate. And also, too, Greg, I just want to mention that this is the 45th year that Klaprick Real Estate has been here as a local business in the Fond du Lac community. So we're just thrilled that we have been able to support all those individuals who have either wanted to buy or sell, and we feel very blessed.
Very exciting. Well, Colette, have a great spring and summer. I know you guys are going to have a busy season, and I know you like being busy, and that's the whole plan. So once again, Colette Klaprick from Klaprick Real Estate on today's Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday on these Radio Plus radio stations is brought to you by Bristol Morgan Bank with offices in Oakfield, Van Dyne, Oshkosh, and Fond du Lac.